Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be making a illustration of my original character, who's a baker, and I'm actually gonna bake cookies myself. So this isn't my idea, I saw Sketches of Shay do this over on YouTube. I'll be sure to link them in the description so you can check out their video because it's a really fun video. I'm gonna be making lemon cookies, and this is the OC that I'll be drawing. So it's this girl. I designed her for a Draw This in Your Style back in January last year, and I haven't actually drawn her since then. I drew this last evening, just kind of exploring what her design was and thinking of what my illustration will be. So basically she's not thought out or anything. She's just this baker girl. She likes to bake. I did a couple expression ones. It's raining. It's really raining outside, so it might be a little gloomy, but I hope that's alright. Also, this is tea. It's one of my favorite teas. I got it for my birthday and it smells really good, so I pasted it in here and I can just sniff it if I want to. I think that will be all for the intro, so let's get to baking and drawing. Okay, it's time to start baking. First of all, welcome to my kitchen. This might be the only time you see my kitchen. How fun. Okay, so I'm planning to make lemon cookies, but I want to add chocolate because I'm extra and it might be a fail, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I even gonna do that. I found a recipe online. I got some ingredients. I'm first gonna get those ingredients and then we'll see from there. We might have a slight problem, which is that I don't have eggs. I can't find eggs in the fridge, so I might have to go to the store, but it's raining and I don't want to go through the rain. But the thing is, last time I baked, I was missing an egg too. And then I went to my neighbors and that was the most awkward thing ever. And I don't want to do that again. But I need an egg. I got the eggs. We're all good now, hopefully. Time to start mixing. This better not be too loud. Doesn't this look delicious, guys? I'm gonna add honey. Is that a tablespoon? I'm saying it is. It's fine. We're gonna need 250 grams of flour, so I'm just gonna put this in there. I put it on the scale, so as long as I don't do too much, it should be fine. Almost there. Okay. Now all that's left is a little bit of salt. I'm always way too afraid to do too much, so I do like the slightest bit. That should do. The last thing is baking soda and lemon juice. I don't know how much lemon juice, but we're just gonna wing it. Is that enough? Probably. First gonna mix with this, because otherwise it's gonna go everywhere. This is so much flour. We're getting dough in there, it's not just flour. I think my butter was way too melted. I didn't know how long it had to be. I had to get microwaved for it to be soft enough. So I just did a minute and called it a day. I think that was too long. Okay, we're gonna grab the mixer. Okay, cover your ears. I mix it a good bit more, but I'm afraid it's not gonna be kneadable, like it's just crumbs. But we'll see. Still needs a little bit more mixing, I think. It's down here. It's alright. Just thinking about kneading this, I think I might need to cut my nails because they're too long. Okay, I cut my nails, so now it's time to start kneading. Oh wow, that's not bad. Look, it's a little ball. Maybe not the sturdiest ball, but so about the chocolate, I don't know if it's gonna ruin it. So I thought maybe I'll do it on half of the cookies. Like one half, I'll just leave like lemon cookies, like exactly the way it is right now. And then the other half I can add chocolates. That might be an idea. I should have probably watched some baking videos to see how other people set up their camera, because this might not be the best angle. It's pretty sturdy. Should I taste it? I'm gonna taste it. Oh. Doesn't taste bad. It's kind of good. It's a little bland, but oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna knead the rest of this. Oh, my phone is so gross. I'm gonna knead the rest of this, and then I'll be right back. I've kneaded them into these balls. Maybe I can grab some of this, put it on here, and then I can add chocolate to this little ball. It's slightly smaller, a lot smaller actually. Okay, I put on the oven. You might hear that in the background. And I just looked through the recipe, and you need to like put them in plastic wrap and put them in the refrigerator at least 3 hours. But I don't have time for that because it's past 1 p.m. and like the barbecue I'm going to starts at 4. So we don't have time for that. We'll just gonna have to see what will happen if you don't refrigerate, I guess. Oh, and I know normally people use like actual chocolate chips for cookies, but I don't have this. I know I just went to the store. I could have bought them, but no, this is fine. I think that's almost small enough. We're just gonna there. Perfect, guys. Oh, that actually kind of works. This is actually working better than I had expected. Ooh, okay, never mind. I would take that back. I made a mess of the kitchen, honestly. Like when I mixed the dough, it kind of flew everywhere. Oh my god. Oh, that's... Anyways. Okay. I'm gonna knead this some more. See if I can fit all the chocolate in here. And then I'll be right back again. Just kidding. Voice over me out here. It's time for the speed paint. So first of all, I've never recorded a speed paint before, so I had to figure out how to record my screen, and I was trying to figure that out with a warm-up sketch, which is what you see right now. But my first attempt, I had the wrong screen recorded. I had my laptop screen recorded and not my tablet, so that's why the first piece of the sketch is missing. And then I went to work on the second sketch, what you see right now, which was gonna be the actual piece. But because I was recording, I was really stiff and nervous, and I didn't like how it was turning out. So I went back to the other sketch, which you'll see in a minute. I just felt like the pose and the hands and just the face was really stiff, and I did not like it. So spoiler alert, I will not finish this. Also, because I've never recorded a speed paint before, I was really afraid that I would zoom in and flip the canvas too much, because I tend to do that a lot. But I didn't spend too long on this, so I think it's alright. And I also tried to keep the flipping and zooming in and zooming out and toggling off layers to a minimum. So now the second sketch is almost finished. So I went back to the first one. I was trying to draw the hand. It was not working. I don't struggle that much with drawing hands, but when it's from the side like this, and my reference was kind of vague, I just struggle with it some more. So don't worry, I'll try to fix it later so it gets a little better. And also just a heads up, the head is already enormous. But I'll also fix that later on, like way later on, but you'll see there, we'll get there. Here I'm working on the cake, which I don't think it looks bad at all, making it bigger. The bigger the better, more cake. Like I said, trying to draw that hand. And there was also a hand like right behind it, which was really... I struggled with it, alright. It's alright. Also, side note, every time the borders of the screen turn white, I'm either looking up references or changing my music. I also apologize for saving the file every 3 minutes. It's kind of become an automatic action, so I'm not really conscious about it. Back to the second sketch again. I was trying to reframe it, so like the bottom of the character was out of frame, because the hand and the arm just did not look good, but that didn't really work. And then I also didn't want her to also be holding a cake on a plate, because then it would just be a flipped version of the first one. So I made her hold a cupcake instead, because the hand position would also be easier to draw for me. But once again, spoiler alert, I never even took a reference for the hand, so I never drew it. So this is about as far and as much of the second sketch that you'll get. And then back to the first drawing again, I started adding in the backgrounds because otherwise I felt like it would be just too plain of a drawing if it was just a girl standing there in a blank space. Like, where would you have make that cake if not in a kitchen, right? So I added in a kitchen background. You can also see that I am the absolute worst at drawing straight lines, but that's alright, that's what we have digital art for. And then in the background I started adding little decorations and kitchen equipment, like plants. This hand mixer they're a complicated shape, they're hard to draw, alright. But I just winged it and I was like, no, that's fine, it will do. And then I added some more things like spoons books in the background on the shelves. Figured they'd be cookbooks or something. In order to figure out like if the composition was working, I was really flipping the canvas a lot, because when you flip it, you kind of look at it with fresh eyes, right? So I could see if there was something missing. So that's why I'm flipping it like every 3 seconds. Drawing pans in perspective is also not my forte. Oh, this is where I moved her a bit to the right because I felt like the composition was lacking. And now that the sketch is finally finished, it's time to move on to the baking again. Still can draw straight lines though. Now comes the hard part, which is gonna be putting the dough on the paper and making small cookies. I don't know how big this should even be. I think this is too big. First gonna make little bowls, and then I'll flatten them. The recipe said that if you don't refrigerate them, they're gonna like expand way more. So it might become one giant cookie. That's fine. Almost through the first bowl. Oh. I think we'll be fine. Like with it fitting, because the other bowl was smaller. The chocolate bowl. This looks kind of good, right? I think it looks good. Considering how few times I've baked in the past couple of years, I don't think these are half bad. And considering I didn't read through this recipe very well, and I had to like remeasure everything because I don't know what cups are. I'm not American, alright? I know that the oven can go off at any minute, and that's probably gonna scare the crap out of me. Maybe I'll put a warning if it happens, so you guys won't be scared. I'm gonna try and flatten. Maybe if I use this. What if I do this? Oh my god! Okay. Anyways, I told you. Is that a good cookie? I don't think it's bad. It's kind of the trance. Good enough. This one's kind of big. I'm doing it on this plate, by the way, because if I press down on this, you're gonna get cookies that are waved. Waved. And that's not what I want. I'm also traumatized because last time I made cookies, like an entire row of cookies just fell through the gaps, and they fell to the bottom of the oven and they all burned. It smelled really bad, and now I'm traumatized. So I hope that won't happen. I'm gonna place them towards the middle. Wow, it's circular. These are actually easier. They're less sticking together. I also made them smaller, I think. It's also raining really badly outside, so I'm glad I don't have to go to the store now. Because when I went like half an hour ago, it wasn't all too bad. It was just like a slight drizzle. Also at the checkout, I got checked. Like a worker had to come to see. Like I scanned them myself. And then often a worker has to come to check like whether or not you checked off all your items. And like this lady came and I just looked at her, showed my bag, and I was like, yes, I have eggs and milk. Can I pay now? I wasn't rude or anything, but it's just annoying that has to happen every time. But the employees are just doing their job. I know what it's like to have customers that are the absolute worst. Because the other time at work, last week, I was just cleaning the table and I just heard someone behind me like, "Hey, young lady," or whatever she said. And I was like, "Hi, can I help you?" And she was ranting. She was mad because her food didn't come, but it was her problem that it didn't come. But I couldn't say that. So she just kept ranting like, "This is horrible, I hate this, I want the receipt, I want to leave, and I don't like this, blah blah blah." And then she just looked me dead in the eye and she was like, "Do you like working here?" I was like, "I mean, yeah, it's alright. It's a minimum wage job, what do you expect?" And she was just like, "No, this is horrible. I could never, I hate this." And I was like, "Alright, can I get a superior?" She was like, "No, I want the receipt." And I was like, "I'll get my superior." And then I went to my superior and he was like, "No, don't do this to me." He did not want to go either because that woman was just going crazy. And then she left. Okay. I think we can put them in. I was just about to say they're all snugly in the oven, but oh no, never mind. I thought there was one missing. There is not. Okay. We're good. We're good. I really hope this won't fall off. Bye bye! The alarm just went off, but I think they're not quite ready yet. Oh my god! Okay, that doesn't work. They might still be hot, but I'm gonna taste this one. Let's do. Oh, where's the camera? Oh, that's actually really hot. Ow. Looks good. I waited like a minute more. Let's see. They're still hot. But I think it should be doable. Yes. Oh my god, I thought when I tasted the dough, you couldn't really taste the lemon, but I think you can taste the lemon now. They're actually really good. And they're not burned, so that's already a plus. They're good. And then now it's finally time for the base colors. I actually dislike this step, not because I dislike picking colors that much, but more just because it takes so much time to get in every single corner of the drawing with the right color. And the thing is that my sketches, like my line art, is just a sketch, right? So it's not completely full. So sometimes I do use the magic tool to add in a base color, but then it always ends up really pixely, and then I just have to go over it again. So that's kind of double the work, but I still do it because I'm like, no, it's way quicker to use the magic wand too. Other than that, I'm really not sure what more to say about the background colors. You can see here where when it turns blue that I'm using the magic wand too. I think for the kitchen counters, the cabinets, it turned out alright because the lines were solid enough. And then for the background elements, I first wanted to all give them the same color, mostly because I was too lazy to give them all an individual color, and I felt like it would just look more graphic and kind of united in unison, fit together, whatever. I hope that it would look good, but it didn't really. And here I'm like photo bashing some flannel pattern because I was not about to draw all of that by hand, and it just felt like it would look better if I just used a pattern regardless. So I'm just morphing it into the right shape, and then I was just trying to get the right color using layer modes. And then it was time for the rendering because the base colors were finally done. With rendering, I pretty much always start with the face because it's just my favorite part to render. And then after I've rendered the face, I'm like, oh no, now I got to render the rest of it. But it's also part of the process, it's fine. After rendering the face, I just kind of jump wherever I feel like. Just make sure there's shadow and lighting in every place. In the background, I added some gradients. Some more about this baker girl. I already said some of it in the intro, but she's this girl that I created about 1.5 years ago for a Draw This in Your Style on Instagram. I kind of just headcanon her as someone who likes to bake, just someone chill, you know, doing baking for fun or even as a job. As for her design, she's really consistent of like blue and yellow and then brown. I always try, if I design something, which is not often, I always try to at least add, if I add a color somewhere, you gotta add it in other places. So she has like this neck thing that's also blue, just like her skirt, and this little string around her arm that's also blue. And then she has another towel cloth on her waist that's the same as in her hair, like a headband. Also, one thing about the colors is that on my tablet screen they look way more saturated than on my laptop screen, or any other screen for that matter. So when I'm working on it, the colors look great, everything's saturated, everything pretty. But then on literally any other device, they just look muddy. So I apologize if the colors look kind of muddy and depressing in the speed paint. And then I finally decided that that ugly muddy brown color for the background elements was not it, so I added in their own individual color. But I was still trying to stay in the color palette, so they're mostly yellow and blue, and then some green because I had plants and I was not gonna make the plants blue. So I also had added green mostly to the books. And then I was trying my best to keep that shading that I already had, with like multiply layers, but that didn't end up working at all. So I just did all of that for nothing, but that's fine. You live and you learn. So this is where I first checked the values using a color layer with no saturation, so you can see the illustration in black and white. And I realized that the character was, especially in the middle of the canvas, was just blending in with the background because they were all midtones. So I tried darkening the character, but I didn't like that. So then I went back to color and I figured if there's a big enough color contrast, because like the background is blue in the middle and then the girl is mostly yellow and then the pie is pink. So I was like, if I just exaggerate that color difference, she'll still pop. And this is where I finally realized, wow, the head is gigantic. So I shrunk it and then I had to fix the backgrounds. But that's a small price to pay for a normal sized head. And I realized I never finished the rendering on the stand mixer, so I quickly did that kind of half and then forgot about it. So I'm pretty sure this is as good as it gets. When nearing the end, I realized that the background was still kind of blank, so I tried out some patterns to see what would work and to add more contrast to the background and the character in the foreground. Then I felt like the countertop was not cluttered enough, so I sketched in some other objects. It didn't really work, but it still made the composition and just the illustration more interesting. I think the entire drawing, at least my recording, was about 2.5 hours, which is not bad for half a character and a background. But that does not include looking up references and the planning that you saw in the beginning of the video. So maybe it was more like 3.5 hours in total. And then the illustration was done, which meant it was time for color corrections. After doing a couple of them in Paint Tool, I went to Clip Studio Paint and I altered the drawing there because I feel like I don't like drawing in Clip Studio Paint because I'm used to Paint Tool, but I still think that Clip Studio Paint has way better color correction, so I sometimes take my finished illustration and put it in Clip Studio Paint so that I can fix the colors Whenever I alter the colors, I always make sure to keep the original and make sure that the alteration I made is better than the original and that I like it more. You can get caught up in just adding layers and layers of everything, and then in the end the original looked better. And then I realized that somewhere along the way, I'm still not sure where, but somewhere along the way the lines got really blurry and I didn't like that, especially on the face I didn't like that. But then I realized, you know, it kind of adds to the drawing overall, but I just don't want it on the face. So I tried fixing that. And then here's the finished illustration. I could honestly go on and on about things that I feel like would improve this piece, just like the composition and the color contrast between everything, but it's alright, it's finished. I learned from it, I'll take what I learned from it. And at the end of the day, let's not just be negative and just look at the finished piece, see what I've created. And all in all, I'm happy with how it turned out because it's a bigger illustration than what I normally do. So we're just gonna be happy about it. I think that's gonna be it for this video, at least as far as the baking goes. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit different, I guess. And once again, this was not my idea, but I saw sketches of Shay do it. And it looked fun, and it was fun. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, that makes me happy. No, and then I'll see you guys next week on Friday. Bye!
We're gonna try the cookies! Woo! Wait, show them!
Oh.
Yeah! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yummy.
Yeah.
They're so good. Zijn we aan het bespreken?
They're so good!
Yummy. Hartje.
Do a break.
Oh. Aesthetic break.
That was not in focus. That was not in focus. Wait.
Me too.
Yeah, okay.
No!
No! Wow.